Let's go and check in with the other camp. Live now to Jonathan Lee, who's travelling with Anthony Albanese's team because Anthony Albanese is in isolation, Jono. He has COVID. So take us through what happens. What's the plan now?
Well, certainly testing times for the Labor campaign and the Labor leader. It all changed last night at about 6 p.m. Most of the journalists were putting down their microphones and preparing to have dinner. We've got a text message talking, well, he's giving us the details about what we were supposed to be doing today. We were supposed to check out of our hotel here in Sydney and head to Western Australia at 5 a.m. this morning. We were told those who weren't on the bus would be left in Sydney. And then 8 minutes later, we had a fully fledged press statement from the opposition leader detailing that he had contracted COVID. I can read you a little of what that statement went on to say. It said, following a routine PCR test this afternoon ahead of interstate travel to Western Australia, I have returned a positive result for COVID. I've been testing regularly as part of my election campaign duties. I will be isolating at home in Sydney for the next 7 days and will continue to follow the health guidelines and advice. Now, Laura, 2 other journalists this morning have also tested positive for COVID. That brings us to 4 journalists who've had to leave the bus. A 5th journalist is also isolating back in Canberra now. So when did we get it? It's likely we probably got it at the Byron Bay Blues Fest, although it's entirely possible. Mr Albanese's strain was contracted at a different time to whatever is circulating currently amongst the journalists. Scott Morrison has spoken. This is what he's had to say on Sky.
Well, I just hope he'll be fine. I had COVID some months ago and sent him some friendly tips about how you can manage it. And so hopefully his symptoms won't be too bad, and I'm sure he'll keep on with the campaign just as when I had COVID, I kept on with the governing. And just like 50,000 Australians are getting COVID at the moment, and they push on. They've got to get kids to school, run their businesses, look after their work responsibilities. I'm sure Anthony will do the same and will formally rejoin out there on the trail after the 7 days.
Yeah, interesting what Scott Morrison's saying there, Laura. I might be wrong, but I think Joe Biden stopped campaigning during the presidential campaign when Donald Trump got it. So maybe Scott Morrison pointing out that he won't be following that line. So what can we expect today from the opposition? Jason Clare, the Shadow Housing Minister, will be fronting the press in around half an hour's time. We will find out what Labor's strategy will be for the next 7 days. We're also told that Labor today will focus on a Sydney seat. There's a number of marginal seats. They can go out to Macquarie, they can look at Greenway also, both of them are marginal. It's also going to be fascinating to see which shadow ministers will be pushed to the forefront, who is considered competent and proficient, who Anthony Albanese favours, who perhaps he's trying to keep out of the media limelight over the next 7 days, and what his line of attack will be. Will he be blitzing breakfast media television through online interviews? What opportunity will journalists have to question the opposition leader over the next 7 days? It's unlike any campaign we've ever seen. It's, I suppose, the first time in the nation's history one of the major leaders has been forced to campaign in isolation at home, while the other is campaign freely, as we'd normally expect.
Yep, back to the world of Zoom for Anthony Albanese. Look, he's been reluctant to come and speak to this particular host, so hopefully he has a change of heart there. Jonathan Lee, we will check in soon.